What's up everyone, we are back today for another themed inventory guide, and for this video we are doing a neon theme. Now, this loadout will focus on being bright and colorful, with the main colors of the skins being purple, pink, blue, and cyan. This inventory has a ton of options for knives, gloves, and skins for each gun, so you can customize this loadout to get it exactly how you like. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the sub button, and let's get straight into the loadout. Now to get started, let's first talk about the agents, and there aren't any agents that have very bright sleeves, so I recommend using the agents that don't have any sleeves at all, and those are going to be for the T side, the Enforcer Phoenix, and for the CT side, we have the Lieutenant Commander Rickshaw. For the gloves, we have 3 great options at 3 different price points, and each of these gloves will be a different color, so you can pick the ones you like the most, but they all match since they all use a primary color of the neon theme. Now for the cheap ones, we have the overprints that are going to be cyan. For the middle, we have the Imperial Plaids that are going to be purple, and for the expensive ones, we have the Vice Gloves that will be pink. Now, I chose to use the Vice Gloves for the rest of the video because I like how it matched a little bit more, but any of these options work great and will fit the inventory. For the knives, we have 2 great finishes that will work perfectly within this setup, and you can pick them on whichever knife you like the most. Now, for the first one, we have the Doppler Phase 1, which will be a mix of pink and purple, and for the second one, we have the Doppler Phase 2, which will be pretty much all pink. Now both of these are very bright and just look great in general, so they will stand out within the inventory. Now let's take a look at the pistols. For the CZ75, we have Tacticat, which is a great CZ skin that features a lot of pink and blue and matches the Vice Gloves very nicely. It's also pretty budget friendly, so it's a great pick for the CZs. For the Desert Eagle, we have Ocean Drive, which is a red deagle skin that features a ton of neon colors such as cyan, orange, purple, and pink. This deagle works great with every single glove that I mentioned previously. Moving on to the dual Berettas, we have Melodrama. Now, there aren't a ton of dually skins that are bright, so I picked the Melodramas because they have the pink in the middle and are also a cheap skin. The 5.7 had a ton of great options, but I chose the Hyper Beast for a few reasons. It has a great artwork design, has great colors that definitely match the neon theme, and overall it's just a very good looking skin, though it is a little bit pricey. Now, out of all the guns on the list, the Glock 18 had the most options, and they all looked great, so you can definitely pick the one you like most, but I chose Vogue. I like the writing on top, I like the colors, and I also used the Neo Noir finish on a couple of other guns, so I thought the Vogue was the best option here. One of the most overlooked skins on the P2000 is the Gnarled, and I chose it for a few reasons. It's very cheap, has a great art design in terms of the monster, and it has a nice colorway of this peachy pink as well as this teal blue. Overall, just a great looking skin for a great price. The P250 was very limited in terms of neon skins that had pink, purple, or blue on them, so I chose the Digital Architect because of its very bright colors, and I think it's a very overlooked skin that has a nice design to it, so y'all should definitely check this skin out. For the R8, I went with the obvious choice of Fade, and you can actually customize this a good bit. If you're rocking Imperial Plaids, I recommend getting a high fade like this 99% on screen, and if you're rocking Vice Gloves, you can get like a 90% that has a lot of the pink at the back, and not to mention fades look absolutely amazing in CS2 now. The Tech 9 had one of the best neon skins available on it, and that's the Decimator. It goes from blue to pink to purple, and has a nice vaporwave aesthetic to it. One of the nicest Tech 9s in general, and I absolutely love this skin. The USPS had a few great options, and I went with the Neo Noir just because it's a bit more budget friendly and has a nice design in terms of the colors and the lady artwork on it, but if you can't spend more money, I would recommend taking a look at Target Acquired. Now that we're on the rifle skins, let's first take a look at the AK-47, and what better skin is there than the Neon Rider. Overall, one of the best AK skins in general, and in terms of neon, it doesn't get any better than this. Such a good skin, great colorway, and great design. In terms of color, the AUG really had one good option, and that's the Death by Puppy. Now, this skin is very chaotic in terms of the artwork. It's all over the place, but the colors match perfectly. We have a lot of cyan, blue, pink, and purple, so it's a great AUG if you're looking for those specific colors. For the FAMAS, I chose Prime Conspiracy, which is a pattern-based skin from the Control Collection, and the fact that it's pattern-based means you can find a pattern that has a ton of either blue, pink, or purple, whichever your preference is. The Galil had some excellent options in terms of a neon theme, and I chose Phoenix Blacklight because it's my favorite Galil skin. It's pattern-based, and you can actually get a pattern where you have a purple Phoenix on a background of pink, which looks really nice. Similar to the Tech 9, on the M4A1S we have Decimator, and it almost seems like the Decimator skin was literally made for the A1S. It fits it perfectly, the colors flow very nicely on barrel, stock, and mag, and overall it's just an absolutely great looking skin that got buffed in CS2. On the M4A4 we have Neo Noir, and in my opinion I think this skin looks the best on the M4 since we have a ton of space for all the neon colors and the cool design, and it's also pretty budget friendly as well. Next up is the SG553, and I chose Pulse. It's a pattern-based skin, it has a cool fractalized design, and it's very dominant in terms of the pink and purple colors. For the opera mains out there, or those that have a higher budget, I would recommend the Op Fade, but my choice was the Neo Noir because it's more budget friendly, and I really like the black and white split on the barrel as well as the scope, with a ton of nice cyan outlines throughout the whole gun. The G3 was very limited in terms of skins, so I chose the Flux simply because of its color. It's a nice shade of purple, and when you actually let the gun hit the light, it is pretty bright, so this is definitely the best option for a Neon G3. On the Scar 20, we have the Splash Jam. It's a pretty OG skin, and it has this nice pink splatter design all over the whole gun, though I would recommend getting it in minimal wear or field tested because believe it or not, factory new Splash Jams are actually over $1,000. What better way to finish off the rifles than with the SSG Turbo Peak? This skin screams neon with the pink and orange running down the whole gun, and if you're into cars, it's a win-win in terms of design and color. Now let's go over all of the SMGs in the game, and the first one up is the MAC-10 Neon Rider. Now, like I said with the AK, this skin is absolutely gorgeous, it looks amazing, the colors are perfect, and the added bonus is that this skin is cheap. It's an absolute steal of a price for how good this MAC-10 looks. On the MP5, you're limited to only one skin, but it's a great option, and that's the Phosphor. It's a very bright skin, it does scream neon, and the best part about it is that the two colors we're looking for most here are present on the front and back of the gun. The MP7 has the fade finish, so of course we're going to go with that, and like I mentioned previously about fades, you can customize how much pink or purple you want on the gun, depending on which gloves you chose at the beginning of the video. On the MP9, we have one of my favorite Japanese-inspired skins in the game, and that's Mount Fuji. We have blue in the middle, and a lot of pink that covers the bottom and top of the gun. Also, the artwork is really cool. We have a huge mountain and a sunset behind it. The P90 only had one neon skin to offer, and that's the Death by Kitty. So it's the same thing with the AUG, but instead of dogs, we have cats here. It's a really goofy looking skin, but I do really like the colorway that covers the entire gun. Continuing with the cats theme, we have the PP Bison Space Cat, and there are no neon guns available on this gun, so this was the second best option, and that's because it has a ton of purple, and the artwork is pretty funny itself. Lastly, for the SMGs, we have the UMP45, which had a ton of great options, but in my opinion, Wildchild is absolutely the best. It looks like it was designed with a neon theme in mind, and this fits perfectly within our neon inventory. Last but not least, let's go over the heavies, and the first one up is the Mag-7. I chose Spectrum, but you could also go with Prismaterrace if you like pearlescence. I do really like the 3D effect that the Spectrum offers, and its very bright colors. The Nova only offered one neon skin, but in my opinion this is the best Nova skin, and that's the Hyper Beast. We have a cool beast design that fills out the whole gun, and the colors themselves are very vibrant and bright. The Sawed-Off has 2 or 3 neon skins available, but in my opinion Kiss Love is the best, has a lot of pink and purple, and isn't overly too expensive. On the XM1014, we have the XOXO, which is super pattern based, and similar to some of the other skins on the list, you can actually find patterns that are primarily blue or pink, depending on which gloves you're running in-game. The M249 offers Downtown, which is a super cheap skin, and it has this cool urban spray paint design that is covered with a ton of neon colors. For the last gun on our list, we have the Negev, which doesn't actually have any full neon skins, though we do have Power Loader, which has a ton of yellow and this cool cyan color on the mag and the bullets. So, here's my full neon themed inventory, but as I mentioned previously, you can always swap some skins out to match your preferences. For the next video in the series, let me know if you would prefer to see a space or cyberpunk theme for the next loadout. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and with that being said, I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out, everyone.